Okay, Madhuda, can you give some example of forming process? You have three options. One is drilling, one is riveting, another is your coining, which is for forming process.
Drilling.
Okay, that is the wrong answer. Go to the next.
Sir, options.
The first one is your drillings. The next one is that is uh, your riveting. Then third one is your coining process. Out of three, which is known as forming process: drilling, riveting, and coining process.
सर इसमें मेरे को बहुत डाउट है, मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा मशीनिंग किस में जा रहा है, फॉर्मिंग क्या क्या आ रहा है, सो मेरे को और एक बार बताओ.
Okay, I just repeat that one. In case of machining, removal of unwanted material from the parent material to get the desired shape. Clear? And it is done by machines. That is known as machining process. So if you go to the example of turnings by lathe machines or drilling machines or boring machines, that is done by machine, that is known as machining process. But in case of assemble process, that means you have to bring the component, sub-component, work in progress in a particular platform to make a particular product. So in that case, if you go to the example of welding, welding means joining up two materials. Same thing happen in case of solderings. Have you seen the soldering iron in case of electronics goods? That directly combine two similar material or dissimilar materials. Same thing happen in case, in case of your riveting. Riveting means most of the rivet should be joined by nut and bolt. That means you have to bring the nut and bring the bolt and collectively collect two similar material by joining nut and bolt. That is known as assemble process. But in case of forming process, there is no particular unwanted material should be removed. For example, in case of your coining process, the most of the utensil, in case of cooking utensils, that should be made by coining process. That means what? The parent material should be fixed in a rotating machines and you have to apply some force. Same thing happen in case of forging process. Forging is a forming process. So in case of forging process, what will happen? You bring the materials in a cold form or in a hot form and hammer by applying hammer, that material should be changed. That is known as forming process. I think you got your answer. In case of machining, that is removing of unwanted material. In case of assemble, by joining by the help of welding, dredging, soldering, riveting, even if in case of fastening also by adhesive glue. But in case of forming process, you have to apply some forces to convert the material into desired shape. In case of forging,
प्रोसेस मतलब कुछ
for example, in case of forging process, you apply hammering. By hammer, whenever you put the hammer on the material shape can be changed. That is a different form. That's why it is called forming process. Same thing happen in case of coining process. तो अगर तुम बर्तन वगैरह देखोगे तो बर्तन में क्या होता है, एक सीट आता है, पर्टिकुलर सीट इज फिक्स इन द मशीन्स एंड यू अप्लाई सम फोर्स दैट शुड बी कन्वर्ट इनटू ए बाउल शेप. That is known as coining. Same thing happen in case of your stamping process. Suppose a thin sheet of brass or copper should be put under the die and die should be pressed. That is known as stamping process. And the impression of the die should be appear on the parent sheet. That means whenever you put the material should be converted into a desired shape in the form of other shape. That's why it is called forming process. So these three, starting from your manufacturing process, your assemble process, your forming process, these are known as traditional machining processes. Clear?
Yes sir.
Yes, I repeat, in case of machining process, your assemble process and forming process, these are under traditional machining process. But apart from this traditional machining process, there is another method is known as non-traditional machining process. So in case of non-traditional machining process, for example, numerical control machines, computer numerical control machine. So if you take the example of CTTC, even if you are CPED, they have arranged some numerical machine which is controlled by computers. and in that machine they can drill, they can bore, they can weld all the things. So have you seen in the best example in case of Iron Man movie series? In case of that robot which is employed for assemble of the different component of body parts, these are under non-traditional machining process, where in that environment the whole the equipment, sub equipment bring together, and through the computer, the component are synchronized in the form to make a particular assemble of product. So these are under non-traditional machines. So in case of non-traditional machines, these are different kind of world where chemical processes, non-destructive processes, you can say that is electric processes are included in such a way that they can be form any kind of shape or any desired or any complex type of object. For example, for machining of your currency coin, in case of India, machining of your currency coin, so that should be done by government of India under the authorization of RBI. So there is a plant near Nasik. In case of Maharashtra, this particular organization is responsible for making different kind of impression on currency coin, and that should be done through the ledger. This is known as ledger machining process. So if you compare the non-traditional and traditional machining process, so nowadays the world should be moving towards your non-traditional machining process. But apart from the advantages and disadvantages of both machining process, nowadays what will happen in case of your traditional machining process, you cannot be employed unskilled workers. In the both cases, highly skilled worker are directly involved in this particular process. But the thing is that in case of non-traditional machining, it is always involved highly skilled or highly specialized person who are specialized in case of laser machining, in case of water jet machining, in case of other machining processes. For example, it is difficult to cut the sole of shoes in case of traditional machining process. But in case of non-traditional machining process, have you heard the particular company that is Nike? The Nike company has implemented water jet machining process. By the help of water jet machining process, they can be easily cut the sole of shoes. So due to that thing, their process capacities as well as productivity will be enhanced, as well as their quality also increase. So these are the different things. Next, come to the next question. What is process? Anyone?
Sir, it is the stages or the activities to achieve the manufacture or the productivity of
Okay.
product.
Okay. The next question to Manaswara. What is process?
Sir, or a set of activities or the actions to be taken for producing the product or the services.
Okay. Rekha?
Sir, process, we can say it is a series of activities which are arranged in a sequence to achieve the final end.
Okay. Madhumita, can you give some example of process industry?
Any manufacturing industry?
No, only process. Manufacturing, I'm talking about the example of process industry. Anyone?
Omelette?
Okay, milk processing industry, good. Rekha, any example of process industries?
Sir,
Any other? Yes.
pharmaceutical industries can be there.
Okay, pharmaceutical industries. Any other example, Manasvera?
Sir, textile or clothing industry.
Textile industries, good. Tapasni Vera? Tapasni Rana?
The petroleum industry
Sir,
भी तो हो सकता
coal and mining.
Coal mining are not under process industry. Okay, I will provide some example. There is a steel company is there, one cement company is there, and another automotive company is there, which is belong to process industry. Steel, auto, and your cement. Out of three, which is a process industries?
So voice break हो रही है.
Okay, is it clear? Out of three, for example, in case of steel industries, in case of your automotive industries, in case of your cement industry, which is a process industry.
So automobile.
No, Rekha?
Sir, I think steel industry.
No, Mansibera?
Cement last को ही.
Cement.
Okay. Okay, that one, that is the answer is cement industries. Clear. The steel is directly belong to product industries, or where they directly answer what is the production of steel. They never answer what is the things or thing process should be. There is no, you can say that is the process should be involved, but it is directly gone to the part of product industry. As well as if you take the example of automotive industries, these are also product industry. But in case of cement, in case of sugar, in case of milk, these are under process industries. The next question is, what do you mean by flow chart? Anyone? What do you mean by flow chart?
Sir, flowchart is actually a diagrammatic representation of the functions of an organization or the processes carried out in an organization. Those were represented sequentially through arrow marks, one after the other, on the basis of by using different symbols.
Okay. Next question, what is process flow chart? Manas Bera. What is process flow chart?
So basically, process flowchart is refers to the activities starting with the input and to the final product is output with the consent of the resource and to how to control the particular resource for the effective output.
Okay. The next question is, Madhumita, what is Kanban? What is Kanban?
So it is a framework. So नहीं आता.
Hey, try to read those things what we have I have provided. Clear. कल के डेट में 7-8 लाख का पैकेज है. You have to appear that one. In that case, you don't told this type of thing. नहीं आता. I am not in the touch with that particular subject like that. Try to avoid those things. Basically, actually, this what try to eliminate from your communications. The thing is that in case of Kanban, it is a signboard or signal card or signal display, which is implement for improve and maintain a high level of production in the manufacturing environment. I repeat, it is implement or used to improve and maintain a high level of production in the manufacturing floor, or you can say manufacturing activities. The next is, so what are the why good manufacturing practice is needed? What is the need of good manufacturing practice?
Kanban का क्या बोले आप? Maintain और
Improve, it is used to maintain and improve high level of production in the manufacturing environment. Clear? Next questions. What is the need of good manufacturing practice? Tapasya Rana. Tapasya Rana.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, to minimize the wastage, maximizing of profit.
Maximizing of profit.
क्या question है?
Good.
Need of good manufacturing practice, not process.
Practice.
Sir, control over the quality of that product.
Okay. Anything else, Rika?
So effective,
Yes.
effective utilization of resources,
Okay.
even low cost minimization,
Okay.
producing optimum quality of goods and products, timely delivery, ensuring timely delivery of the products,
Okay. Anything else?
uh, space, proper space utilization also we can
Proper
say, so
space
that waste
utilization.
minimization will
And the
happen.
most important thing, the safety and health and safety issues of worker also. So whenever you involve workers, you must consider their health and safety issues. And the last point, you have to reduce the or optimize the lead times of your production activities. So these are the points starting from quality, production, utilization of resources. Then the next part is your health and safety issues, optimization of lead times. These are the point which is directly involved in case of good manufacturing practice. The next is what is assemble line, Madhumita Das. What is assemble line?
So it is also called manufacturing process uh, to add some value. So,
Okay.
so it moves from workstation to.
Okay,
So
Manas Vera.
it is a manufacturing process to the all the parts added in a sequence of to find out the final.
Okay. Okay, Manas Vera. What is assemble line?
So basically, assembly refers to the interdependence of the machine and the workers together to set the whole production to be complete form.
Okay. So from my side, if you go to the definition of assemble lines, it's a arrangement of machine, equipments, and workers in which work or job passes in a operation to operation in a direct line within the product assembled. I repeat, the arrangement of machine, equipment, and worker in which work or job passes operation to operation in direct line uh, until the assemble line is or a product assembly is finished. So, can you give
Sure,
the
or equivalent.
it is the arrangement,
In
you simply reply, it is the arrangement of machine, equipments, and worker to finish the work and job in a direct line in case of assemble of product. That is known as assemble line. The next question is, what do you mean by fixed location layout? What do you mean by fixed location layout or fixed position layout?
Sir, fixed position layout means materials, may it be any resources, material, machine or manpower or laborers, all of these are brought to a single place where manufacturing or production or any kind of activities is carried out. Means it is a place where means what man, machine, materials, everything is brought to a single place.
Okay, good. Yes, anyone can give the best example in case of fixed location layout?
Production at a production site
It is
where
not it is,
construction company.
okay. Uh, Out of Reka, can you provide some best example in case of fixed position layout?
The construction site.
Okay, construction site. Any other example? Any other example?
Sir, in any industries,
It is not belong to any industries. It is good in case of if you see the example of construction of your own house. The best example is launching satellites. That means what all the different components are brought in that particular uh, organizations, and that should be assembled to get the final product. So these
The
are the
farming सकता होगा?
Yes.
Farming in
Yes.
case of farming.
Yes, yes. In case of farming also, in case of agriculture,
Coals and mines also.
no, no, coals and mine, the resources are come, the not the equipments are.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा
Okay,
ठीक.
okay. The next one, last questions. What do you mean by uh, what is the you can say that is the what is the tool basically used for eliminating waste in case of organizations? As far as belong to the philosophy of Toyota quality production or Toyota production system. I repeat, in case of Toyota production system, which tool is basically used for elimination of waste?
Lean manufacturing.
Okay, one is lean
7
manufacturing. Yes, 7 waste is good.
7 with
Okay, any other tool?
just in time.
Okay, just in time is good.
सर सिक्स सिग्मा भी तो हो सकता है. सिक्स सिग्मा.
Yes, yes, Six Sigma is also include. So starting from your just in time, lean production, lean manufacturing or lean productions. The next one is your
The
7 waste
quality
tool.
circle.
Yes, that is known as PDCA cycles, quality cycles. So these are the tools basically used in case of elimination of waste in the production. Okay. So as you see in the particular slide we will already discussed, is the PPT is visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the previous class we have discussed regarding Heijunka box. So as far as concerned, I just go by the only definitions. In case of Heijunka box, is a sort of enhanced Kanban board. It still acts as a visual scheduling tool to obtain the production leveling at the workstations. However, differently from the traditional board, as compared to your Kanban board, it managed to keep the evidence of material distinctions. So in the simple definition of Heijunka box, it is an enhance of Kanban board. So as you know, Kanban board is a particular signal board or a particular display board which is implemented for improve maintain high level of production. But if you take the example of Heijunka box, it is quite different from the Kanban board, but it is the base. It has the basic function. It maintain a evidence of material distinctions. So as you see in the next slide, the figure contains the 5-day schedule for a particular shop floor or manufacturing shop floor. In that case, starting from 3 number of shift. In case of Monday, they maintain this particular card maintain the all detail of inventory levels, the job, the similar sequence as well as preceding sequence of activities and total inventory use. All details should be maintained in that particular card, and that should be put in a pigeonhole box format. If one shift is over, the second operator should directly what are the collect the data. In that case, he knows the exact status of their inventory and exact sequence of the operation. Accordingly, they proceed for the work or job to be complete by the second operator. Similarly, sequentially, the third operator should be collect the same data to proceed for the next operational activities. So this, as you know, this is quite different in case of just maintain the evidence of material distinctions. That is the basic difference between Heijunka box as well as compared to your Kanban card or Kanban, you can say Kanban board also. The next one is in case of 3-bin system, what we have already discussed in the previous class. It's a simple Kanban system. Implementation is 3-bin system. So as far as concerned with the Kanban system, there may be a single Kanban system is there, 2-bin Kanban system is there. But apart from those two type of Kanban system, in case of 3-bin Kanban system, it uses 3 types of, you can say, 3 type of beans Kanban bean system for supply parts where there is no in-house manufacturing. So apart from those things, if you go to the first one, the first bin is for the factory floor, that is the initial demand point. The second one for the factory floor in case of inventory control point, and the third one is for the suppliers, that is not concerned in case of your in-house manufacturing. So if you see the particular pictures, starting from this one, in case of your process where demand is arise, in case of inventory, the store bin carbon maintain the particular bin. In case of supplier, they have maintained the third one. The first one for demand, the second one for inventory, and third one for suppliers. So if you take the first one, when empty bin, when the bin is empty, it returns to the supplier for resupplies. That means it generated particular demand information to the suppliers. But in case of supplier, the supplier will supply, the supplier will replace the bin taken from the stores. And from the stores, the next bin is taken from the store to replace the one that has just been completed. So as I told, in case of your 3-bin Kanban system, one for your demand information from the shop floor for the process, in case of inventory control from the store, and the last one for your suppliers. So this minimize the different level of your production activities, such as compress the lead times, frequent flow, or you can say that is flow of raw material from supplier's point of view to store, then store to the process. And it should be after reaching the process, or the process is consumed that particular raw material, then the empty bin directly sent to the supplier point of view. So this is the whole scenario of 3-bin system. Next, the today topic is your electronics Kanban. So in case of electronics Kanban systems, these help to eliminate the common problems such as manual entry error and lost card. So as far as concerned with the traditional Kanban system, such as like your 1-bin Kanban system, 2-bin Kanban system, in case of Heijunka Box, in case of just-in sequence, in case of your 3-bin Kanban systems, this electronics Kanban is just eliminate the common problems such as your entry of errors and lost card. So from that system, if any card is lost, it is difficult to proceed for the next operations. So that is why few companies are not implementing the Kanban system due to those things. So they have directly implement the electronics Kanbans to avoid those kind of errors. So in case of e-Kanban system, that can be integrated into enterprise resource planning. So whenever you implement the e-Kanban system, they directly integrate the enterprise resource planning in the form of ERP system or ERP softwares. In case of that ERP system, which enable real-time demand signaling across the supply chain and improve visibilities. So in that case, what will happen? So that directly goes to your signaling across the your internal supply chain as well as external supply chain to improve the visibility. How the visibility should be obtained to eliminate this type of error in the case of your entry of error or loss of card, that should be done through the e-Kanban. So here the typical example. So in case of electronics Kanban systems, what will happen? There is a supplier is there, the customer is there, and all the systems starting from the scanner, then coding and decoding all the demand information from the supplier to the customer and to the customer to the supplier in the reverse way, that should be done through the electronics Kanban. So as you see there, in case of supplier, the supplier is decoded the whole information in the form of QR codes, and that QR codes is directly put on the package of product, and after shipping it should be reached up to the customers. So due to that QR code generated by the electronics Kanban that contain all information starting from the batch number, the total quantity, the specifications, the IP ratios, the next one is the pricing, the MRP, the barcodes, even if your RFID, that is known as radio frequency identification tag. So due to that things, it is easy to track all activities starting from the packaging, starting from the delivered, starting from whenever it should be reached up to the customer, that should be easily tracked. If any kind of difficulties faced, that should be directly gone to the customer service desk and from customer service desk to supplier levels. So if it is okay from the customer point of view, and they should provide a particular, you can say that is feedback, and that feedback should be also coded in the form of QR, or if they increase the demand, that demand should be converted through the QR code, and that should be scanned, and again the customer care executive is receive the demand information that should be inserted into the supplier point of view. So this is the whole scenario of your electronic Kanban system. Moving to the next one. So in case of electronic Kanban system, data pulled from the e-Kanban system can be used to optimize inventory level by better tracking supplier lead and replacement times. In that case, all the data in case of product specifications, then supply chains, then logistic activities, all data should be pulled from the e-Kanban and that used to optimize the different level of your inventory by better tracking of supplier leads. The next is in case of e-Kanban is a signaling system that uses mix of technology to trigger the movement of materials within a manufacturing facilities. So this particular electronic Kanban is also or is otherwise known as signaling system that uses technology to trigger the movement of material within manufacturing, or you can say that is production facilities. Then the third point, the electronic Kanban differ from traditional Kanban in case of uses of technology and replace the traditional elements such as Kanban cards. As I told, in case of traditional Kanban like your one bin Kanban system or two bin Kanban system or three bin Kanban system, is this electronic Kanban just eliminate the different entry card in the form of Kanban cards. And with the help of barcode or electronic message such as email and electronic data interchange should be used for this movement of use for movement of material within the manufacturing facilities. So this is the typical example, or what is the, you can say that is the function of Kanban card. The next point is, if you go to the electronic Kanban point or e-Kanban point, with e-Kanban system, you can use various technology to control the use of component and materials in the production process. In that case, most commonly used technology that is known as barcode or RFID tags. As you say in the point number 2, the e-Kanban different from traditional Kanban in the fact that the conventional elements such as Kanban card are replaced by barcode or RFID tag. So what do you mean by RFID? The RFID stand for radio frequency identification tag. So this tag which has an internal chip, and due to the presence of internal chip, it is easy to track the movement of material starting from the supplier to the customer. Moving to the next one. So this is the typical example of barcodes. So this particular barcode or RFID tag generally used in case of your contact IC cards. The next is contactless IC cards, then die cut cards. Even if your RFID tags in the product packaging box, then it is also used in case of RFID key chains and key pops, and in some cases even if the delivery executive wear the RFID wristbands. So in that case, if you go to the RFID tags, the RFID tags are the type of tracking system that uses smart barcodes in order to identify items. It is happen in case of in-house manufacturing, in case of you can say the outbound logistic operation also. So in case of, as I told, the RFID stand for radio frequency identifications, and as such the RFID tag utilize radio frequency technology. I will show how the radio frequency technology will be help to tracking the movement of material starting from supplier to supplier to customer. So this, as you know, the RFID tag generally use radio frequency technology. So these radio waves transmit the data from the tag to the reader, which then transmit the information to RFID computer program. It is happened due to the entropy resource planning, or you can say it is ERP softwares. So this RFID tag frequently used for merchandise, but they can also use the truck vehicle, even pet, even some diseases in case of patients. So you can say that is the RFID tag may also call the RFID chip also. So moving to the next one. Yes, you have any doubt, you can ask me regarding RFID, regarding uh, the technology used by e-Kanban system. Yes, anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, so basically the RFID, you can see in case of whenever you go for a petrol pump of petrol for refueling your vehicle or bike or your scooty, in that case, they are generally use a particular machine. If you go to the traditional swapping machine nowadays, they provide some white color machine. In that case, you can just show your debit or credit card. In that case, they directly reduce the amount in case of petrol fuels. So these are used in case of for you can say that is for collecting money from different merchandise. Same thing happen if you take the example of garment industries. They are using some RFID tags. In that text, it contains the different specification of your product, as well as the batch size, the manufacturing date. In case of cosmetic products, they also maintain this kind of barcode for tracking the movement of materials till it should be reached up to the customer levels. So these are vastly used in that particular thing, and it is you can say that it's Jara is the only one company who has introduced RFID during 2014. Due to implementation of RFID technology in case of supply chain, in case of logistics, it is easy to track the movement of materials starting from the manufacturer to the customer point of view. So that is why, as you know, the Jara company has assigned the third-party logistic. The company name is DHL companies, and due to assigning that particular company in the form of third-party logistic activities, just imagine Jara can track the movement of materials. You can say that Jara can be deliver the material within 48 hours to any kind of country across the world. So it is happened due to RFID technology, and it also used for safety and securities. For example, you are unknowingly taken the cloth from the retail outlet. So due to that RFID tag or chip, it is due to the radio frequency mode. In that case, it is easy to identify whether you buy it or without buy it. That should be known uh, by the merchandise also. तो तुमने अगर जारा का गारमेंट एक जगह से बिना मतलब परचेस किए अगर ले लिया, तो immediately they there may be a signal or there is a beep should be considered in the case counters. So due to that thing, it is easy to track the activities of materials as well as the supply chain as well as the logistics in case of inbound, in case of outbound. The next point is how the RFID will be work. Moving to the next one. In a typical e-Kanban system, the equipment such as small load carrier are fitted with writable RFID tag that is known as data carrier. The material consumption data are then available in real time, can be processed by ERP. As I told, the whole system should be integrated by entrepreneur resource planning for restocking of this particular data carriers. And the data of current production process, which are available at the press of button, ensure a constant and always transparent material flow, and inventory is reduced to a minimum. As I know, the most of the e-Kanban is implement for optimization of your inventory level. As I told, that this particular data is reduce the inventory level, and it also provide the transparent material flow starting from the manufacturer to the customers. And in addition, you can integrate vendor using real-time available information for material consumption. So these are basically used for data carrier in the form of real-time available information starting from the material consumption point of view from your customer to the suppliers. Then how it will work? As you see in the picture, this RFID works. Basically, they generally use radio frequencies. So as far as concerned with the radio frequency, this RFID is implementation of RFID requires three major components. One is RFID readers, one is antenna, and one is the microchips or tags in order to function. So as you see, so whenever whenever you provide the data carrier through the RFID chip, it's signaling the antenna, and through the antenna, the reader or writer directly interrogate the data informations, and that data should be forwarded to the computers. So this is the typical flow of your RFID setups, starting from the RFID tag or chip. Through the radio frequency, it should be reach up to the antenna. Then from antenna to the reader or interrogators, that interrogator collect the data, consume the data, and that data should be forwarded to the computer for processing of that demand information. So this is the way it is easy to track. So if you implement those things, you can directly tracking the activities of raw material which should be shifted from one place to other place. Then moving to the advantages of whole Kanban systems. So as far as concerned with the advantages of Kanban system, in case of advantages, it optimizes the inventory, reduce the product obsolescence, that is known as outdated, reduce the waste and scrap, provide flexibility in production, increase output, reduce total cost, improve production flow. The next one is place control at operational level, improve responsive to change demand, better machine utilization, and the last one is reduce and eliminate of different queues in case of production activities. So if you go to the disadvantages part, in that case, it is less effective in case of shared resource situations. For example, in case of shared resource situations, your company is surrounded by a number of interrelated companies. So when you implement the Kanban system and you directly allocation your resource to other manufacturing companies, it is difficult whether the company is used or not use the Kanban system. That depend upon your shared resource situation. So that is why it's less effective in case of shared resource situation. The next is surge in mix or demand causes problem because Kanban assumes stable repetitive productions. The next is poor quality in terms of scrap and rework also affect good manufacturing. The next is Kanban does not eliminate variabilities, unpredictable and lengthy downtime could disrupt the whole system. It is not suited for, next point is, it is not suited for manufacturing environment with short run productions. And the next point, Kanban is not suited for highly variable demand, multi-product and good quality product. And the next one is a breakdown in Kanban system can result the entire line shutdown. So due to those these points, these are the you can say that is the disadvantages of Kanban systems. So if you have any doubt, you can directly ask. Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, I will send the PPT. Just gone through this particular PPT. If you have doubt, you can ask me in the next class. Okay, I will arrange that one in case of your pricing and just a minute.
Pricing and revenue management, sir.
Okay, in case of pricing and revenue management.